Welcome to the Aspara Lounge. Thank you for being with us. If you're new here, we are very happy to see you. Take a walk around our video library so that you can see the topics that we've had and things that resonate with you, and then come back in the comments and give us your opinion. And if you are one of our regular viewers, thank you so much. We highly appreciate you. Now we are going into a this is a tough topic, and many of us may not even realize how difficult it is until we are in it, if we find ourselves in it, or someone close to us is in it. And even when we're taking those decisions, we might feel at the moment that what we are trying to do is the right thing, but we should always look far ahead, look deeper into our decisions and what the long-term effect would be. So today we're talking about a couple that is having issues. The man in question hasn't been having a close relationship with his own family, his siblings, cousins, and all that. And over the years, the problems between the couple have progressed, and also, oh, can you mute your mic? And also,
I don't know.
and also the man and the relationship he has with his own family, his siblings, and extended
Excuse me.
relatives
Going
have
to Dublin.
continuously been have continuously been
Excuse me. I'm going to
eroding.
Dublin. Same gate closed.
So sorry, everybody watching.
Okay, I
One of
thought
us is in a public place, and she's not aware that her mic
only.
is bothering her. And so the wife
Okay.
said that she's now considering the
Excuse
possibility
me.
of,
Just to be sure, the flight to Dublin 9 o'clock. It hasn't closed.
oh my
Okay, I
gosh.
thought it closed, and I thought.
Okay,
Sorry.
1 second. Let me see if I can mute.
Sorry. Also,
Right.
sorry. I'm
Okay,
with
please
you.
mute your mic. Mute your mic. It's okay. Mute your mic. I'm still doing the intro. All right.
Okay.
So
Oh,
the wife
sorry.
is in a situation like this where the children do not have a close relationship with their father's side, because where we come from, your roots are your father's village, your father's family, and all that, and they bear the man's last name. In a situation like this, is it wise or is it okay if the kids don't have a relationship with their father's side of the family? Is it okay for them to now take their mother's village and family as their roots so that when they are going home at any time, this is where they go? So this is a question, and we want to delve into it and look at the different things that we're not paying attention to. Now, let me let the panelists in, and then we will
First thing you
talk
want
about
to do
this.
is to regain your power.
And it takes two to tango.
Oh my God! You need to see what she's going through. The husband broke her neck.
Okay, Coco, please tell us. Unmute yourself. Mhm. What is your opinion on this, please?
Okay, I'm muted now. Sorry, I had a scout. I'm in the airport. I'm right in front of the boarding gate, and I just looked up and saw gate closed. And I just thought, oh my
Okay,
God,
you thought it
but
was yours.
yeah, I'm fine
Okay.
now. Right. Regarding the topic, just to make things up, to a certain degree, I understand what the woman is going through, right? Um, there are a lot of men out there, and this is not to criticize men, but there are some men out there that are really, when I say horrible, I mean horrible, and vice versa, the women also. So it's not just that the men are horrible. There are people, let me put it that way, that are horrible, that are not exactly marriage materials. Now, if this lady is going through a terrible time in the marriage and has decided to call it, quits, or both of them have agreed, the point still remains that it's no longer about her, there are children involved. Now, I'm not saying that the woman in such circumstances should stay on. We haven't got details of, the exact things that happened. But what I'm saying is, she wants to move on. All the more reason why the children have to have a footing in their
Okay.
father's
It's not that she wants to
compound.
move on. They're having issues now, and it's like the marriage is breaking apart. So it's not even her who is making that choice. But that's the situation they're in now. The marriage is breaking up. And her concern really is, my children haven't had a close relationship, haven't even had a relationship with my husband's family, because all these years he's kept his family and his own nuclear family apart. Like he's never brought them, he doesn't bring them together. So
Yeah,
she's wondering what their future is going to look like.
I get that point. And here's the thing. Now that you've even made it clearer, also, it is what it is. The man steers the ship, however they say it, right? In the sense that that is his family. The woman has no idea of the way his family works. It's what she tells her that she does. Now, if the man ever really did have the intentions of making his wife and his children integrated into his family, he would have done it.
Sorry about
Yeah, yeah, he would have done it from the onset. But it's very clear that he had his own plans. And that was why, from time immemorial, right from when he married her, he made her an outsider, sort of, with the children, because I've had such experiences. He's made her, I've heard of such experiences. He's made her an outsider, right? Now, here's the thing. If that has been the case, then it's a difficult call for the woman because she can't say 20 years of marriage, 10, even 5 years of marriage, start establishing herself or re-establishing herself. It still takes the man. The ball starts with the man. It's her husband. However, having said that and having noted all these things, it still doesn't mean that she should take away their birthright. You get my point? To say I'm leaving it with my own side of the family. But I just want us to understand that regardless, there's no way in the world that she'll be able to force the children on to their main relations, if that makes sense. You understand? If they've not bothered to build that relationship with the children when they were growing up to this point, what happens? I will give you an example of a situation where these children genuinely did, not this family in particular, another family now. The children genuinely did want to have a relationship with their father's people, right? But each time they went home, they saw that the father's children weren't exactly interested in them, but in what they could get from them. Asking them, can I have your phone? Can I have this? Can I have that? And that on its own put these children off, okay? Because they understood that, listen, these people, they don't love us, they don't want us.
Mhm.
So when a situation like that, when they say that, what do these children do? Do they go out of their way to say, okay, because I want to have a relationship, I'll give them phones, I'll give them money? That's not a relationship. So the final thing I have to say on this also, really, it is what it is. The children can't do anything about it, neither can the woman, it's the man. But under no circumstance, regardless of the pain and all that, should she say, I intentionally, deliberately now want to move them to my side of the family. No. If the
Okay.
man wants to, yeah, that's my point. It's a no, actually.
Okay. So to make it
Just leave
clearer,
things as they are. You can't fight it.
mm,
Leave things as they are. Just don't say I'm taking them to my family. No.
okay, to make it clearer,
Unless
she actually doesn't want that. She's not happy with that situation. So she was saying, I'm so frustrated, I'm so confused. I don't want these children to not have this relationship with their father's side. But what can I do? Because she's the one who is she, he's the one who should have done that introduction and put them
exactly
together,
nothing.
right? So, but
Nothing.
shouldn't she find a way to find somebody from that family? Even if my husband is not doing it, I go to a cousin, I go to somebody, at least, even if I don't have that relationship with them, I do know some of them. I go to them and say, look, these children need to be integrated with the family. Can you help us do that? Don't you think that
No.
that's
It
no?
it doesn't work that way also. It certainly doesn't work that way. Listen, someone has got to want to, it's a reciprocal thing. Someone has got to want you. If the person doesn't want you, believe me, I know what I'm saying when I talk about these things, right? If they don't want you, if they don't want to have a relationship with you based on the man who should have done the bridging, there's
Hmm.
nothing you can do. You don't start going and begging. But
Oh, but
the
it
only thing
depends,
is,
right? Because
there's
they don't
always
have any
this
reason to feel
one.
that those people don't want them. Because it's not as if anybody has told them from the man's
If
side.
if they
So
wanted them, trust me. If they wanted
how?
them, trust me. I'll
Can
tell you
Um,
I
how.
can I
If
can I
if they
can I
wanted them, if they wanted them, i.e., I don't. So I suppose these people live in a village or somewhere. They anytime
no,
at
no,
any
no, whatever.
opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
at any opportunity. they would have come close to those children. But every opportunity, they haven't taken that opportunity. So it's clear that they don't want them. And their father
No, no,
hasn't made it
no.
easier.
Yes,
But
because
Ajuri wants to say
okay, yeah,
something. I
Andrew,
wonder if her
Andrew.
opinion will be different from mine.
Okay, okay. Uzoma, you will need to give me at least 10 minutes to lay. No, no, no. I
Go
need
on.
to lay a
Coco will board, though.
foundation. I
Coco
need
will
to
board.
lay a foundation.
Keep talking.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I'm the last person to
Increase your
board.
volume. Increase your volume, Andrew, so we can hear you.
Okay.
No, don't turn it. Just the volume.
Okay. Have I? Is it good? Is it okay now?
Yeah,
We're just managing it. It's not the best, but okay.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now. Okay.
Coco.
Coming from biology, at least I did integrated science to JS3, and then I did biology SS1. Now, what I understand from biology is that the XY chromosome that makes a child comes from the father. The identity of a child comes from the father.
Besides the
Whether a
culture.
child going to be a boy or a girl is dependent on the spermatozoa. Those who did biology, if I'm wrong, please correct me. Is there a word called spermatozoa? Okay, let me continue. Now, the woman has her egg that the spermatozoa has to fuse with to form the child. Quote? At least I learned that in biology and integrated science. Now, how on earth do you, as a woman coming from the side of biology, suddenly think that this child whose identity is in his father, you can suddenly say you want to bring him to your side of the family, and you start answering
It's
your
not what
family
she
name?
wants now.
Okay,
Guys,
okay,
don't
okay, okay.
forget.
Or okay, you are even suggest or asking or saying should you, or since the father's people don't since the children don't know excuse me, hey, whether the father's people want to identify with the children, whether the father himself wants to identify with the children, whether or not those children belong to the lineage of their father's family, nobody can take that away from those children. You see, you women, no matter how much money you have, no matter how much clout you think you have, no matter who the bloody hell you think you are in life, you cannot take a child's identity from him. Let me say that from biology point of view. Then, as I always tell you people, oh, now word of God, I dey base my own on. No apologies. Now,
And you're coming with
who does?
violence.
I'm very violent about it because I'm very angry. I'm violent. I think I'm not green. Listen, who did God recognize as the head of the home? Answer.
Coco, you can mute in the meantime.
Oh, okay. Is it
Coco,
not the
Coco,
man?
mute in the meantime.
Oh,
You're,
oh, 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 yeah.
yeah.
In the kingdom of God, there is order. God, father, husband, wife before children. Now, God Almighty, who put Adam, the first man, in the garden, and then said, it is not good for man to be alone. Let me make him a helpmate. Then he put the man to sleep, took his rib, and made a woman. Do you think God is sick? Do you think God doesn't know his plan? Do you think God doesn't understand? So how did God, when your head, did you get the memo that Almighty God put that in order, that the man is the head, the man is the owner of the children, the man is the one whom the identity of that child comes from? Then you get up because you're having issues with the man, because you're dragging with the man, you suddenly think the children are yours. You are deluded. You see those
Okay.
children, they will deny you. Let me
All
tell
right.
you,
Okay,
let me
okay.
land. Let me land. No man, no man, no man
The internet is shaking. It's not letting you talk. You're stuck. She's stuck. She's stuck for you. She's frozen for you, right?
Eh?
Huh? She
There's a
frozen.
reason why the
Know
internet
me, the
froze on
father
her.
of your children. Listen, no matter the problem you're having with the father of your children, you see those children. About it tomorrow. When your daughter wants to marry, she knows who to go to. She knows who is going to give her out in marriage. When your son wants to marry, he knows where to go to say, please follow me. I want to go and marry a girl. So be deceiving yourself that saying that you get children because the children are warming up to you, because the children are hanging around you. You are deluded.
All right, all right, all right, all right,
I'm vexed.
all
I'm
right.
vexed.
No, no. Let
Please.
let me put things in context, okay? I think you are taking this from the last video that we had. We were talking about people who alienate the other
Wait,
parent. This is a completely different situation. Guys, can you hear me? This is a completely different situation.
Uncle Tony
In
is
this
just
one, no, he's going to talk. I want to make sure that everybody has the understands the background to this. So in this one, this is not what she wants. You are talking to the woman in the other topic where those people deliberately alienate the kids from the other partner. That's not what's happening in this one. Jury is frozen. So in this one, this woman is actually unhappy about this situation. So her cry is, I need a way to get these kids to their roots, which is what Coco was dealing with, right? Coco is saying that how can she do it? That she has no choice because she believes that probably the husband's family is not interested. But here is what it is. She wants these children to be united with the father's family, and she doesn't know how to do it. But she's thinking, if I don't do that, there's no other option. Those kids have to go to my own family now. Now I'm
okay.
in the UK,
Okay,
right?
now I
So
understand the
she's
premise.
thinking, yes. So she's yes. So that's yes. So yeah,
Okay, okay, okay,
I like everything you said in the other one because
okay.
we're annoyed with these people who like
Based
to
on
alienate kids
context.
from their.
Wait,
Hmm?
Uzoma,
Hmm,
how could you have been married to a man? You
hmm.
dated him, you married him, you slept with him long enough to have not one, not two, not three children. And in pray, no matter how estranged you are from the man,
Hmm.
you don't have one person in your ex's family. It is you. There's a problem.
Eh, okay.
Yes.
So you're speaking to people who might be in this
Let us say
situation.
it as it is. How
Also,
could
permit
you
me
have
to
been
quickly,
Yes,
Coco?
please
How
also
speak.
could you,
Coco.
Coco? How
permit
could you
me,
have been with a man?
permit
You
me
have
to
children
quickly
from him.
jump in here.
Right,
Permit me to quickly jump in because of this flight thing. You
right.
see, it's very important. Adri, that I get all your points, but there's something you're missing. And what you're missing is being sensitive. In my own opinion, I think you're being completely insensitive to the women that are actually going through this problem, especially when you said, how is it that there's no one in that family that she's close to? Now, that is very wrong. It is a sentence that is completely insensitive to the good many women out there that have tried everything, that are very good women, but their husband's family and their husbands are horrible people. So it's a complete your experience
Okay,
of
there are
marriage.
those people as well. Yes, yes.
So us saying this, it is a completely insensitive comment to say to
Okay,
a woman
I
that is
want to. I want.
clearly, you saying, how come there's not one person? Why
Okay, so
not?
please,
It
I want
doesn't
to,
mean that the
of
person
course,
is a
see.
horrible person. I think it's wrongly framed. Maybe that wasn't what you
Okay,
intended to
let me
say,
put it.
but it's so
Okay, so
wrongly
let me put.
framed.
Okay,
Okay.
let me put it in context. I want to first of all apologize. I'm very
Okay.
sorry if I've come on too strong and if I've come on as insensitive to what women are probably going through. Please accept my apology. All I'm trying to say, what I was trying to say, which came out wrongly, is in being married or whether you are divorced or whether he's your ex, and all I'm trying to say is probably is there probably anybody, one person, even if it's just one person, no matter how horrible his family is,
Okay.
so I'm very sorry I was insensitive.
It's okay. I
I'm
think
very sorry I came across.
you are coming from that other video. You're coming from that other video. Because that thing is is very upsetting. It's evil and it's very upsetting. So I think that's what's playing on your mind. Okay, Tony, please go. Sonia, you muted.
Thank you. I thought I will never go until this whole thing is done. It's kind of like a vast topic, but at the same time, it's a very simple thing. I understand where Ajiri is coming from, and she's been very direct and very straight. But in relation to what that woman is going through, let me talk to her directly. You have done everything possible to make sure that you did the right thing. And I give you thumbs up for that. I know that there could be very callous guys around that probably in one or two things might have done something. But here's the truth. The truth is, if I have to pick from Ajiri's point, you're married to somebody, or you were in a relationship to somebody, and you've had not just one kid, two kids, a lot of kids. Throughout all this period, I never believe a story from one point or from one perspective. I don't. I have walked a life, I've had a journey that has opened my eyes, and I have stomped my feet to believing that there's no one story that is right until you hear from the other side. People live two lives. People live a life that they want you to see. And on the other hand, they live a life that is within the walls of the family. In other words, they lie to themselves and they lie to the world. So I don't know who this woman is, but the thing is, tell yourself the truth. I mean, like I said, I'm giving you thumbs up for trying to do what you're doing. But let's face the fact. Why is it that this guy had to leave after 3 kids? He's been with you the first, second, third. Has there something that has been repetitious, that has been going on within the both of you internally, that he couldn't condone anymore and had to leave? This is one thing you have to ask yourself. Let's just leave every other thing apart, like the story of this is what I am doing, this is what I've been trying to do. I tell you, I can play that act and pretend it's all okay on the outside while I'm here killing my wife, while I'm here doing all sort of things, that unspeakable things to her. I can go outside and smile and say it's all good. We see that in politicians. They do it very, very good. And so when it boils down to this, it's the children that suffer. Now, to tackle your second question, you are trying to find the root, or help find the root of these children. I'm sure by your first or second kid, you probably must have known where this guy is coming from, where he came from, who the roots are. When you guys got married, the mother of the man, the father of the man, the sister of the man, the brother of the man, somebody connected to this man. That I mean, did you just get married to this man and all of a sudden cut away the other members of the family and look onto the man? And then now something happens and you're looking forward to retracing yourself back, your steps back. You know, the mistakes some people make, which we have to correct and look into, is, my people say when you're getting married to a man, you're not marrying just the man, you're marrying the whole family. It's everybody there. It doesn't mean that you're giving yourself to the whole family, but it means that there's this interaction. You become a part of this family. So you are interacting with the man. You are picking the phone and asking, "Mama, how are you?" You call your in-laws. "Hey, brother-in-law, how are you?" Even if there's nothing to talk about, strike up a very positive conversation. Link with them.
This is a lesson for all of us. Yeah.
That's correct. Link with them, talk with people, mix with people. Don't just look at the man, because what peradventure God calls this man home. Let's say he never walked away, but he died accidentally. Then what? You've already cut off all members of his roots. You are not even in your country. And all of a sudden now you want to show up or you're trying to figure out, oh, where. This is something we have to school ourselves every day. Talk to your kids, tell them where they come from, make them understand this.
Family is important, right? We can't overlook the importance of family. So, okay, so you guys have brought up very crucial.
Can I
Things.
leverage on what my dear brother said?
Go ahead, go ahead.
When you get married, you see this hula boo that you're marrying the man. It's you and the man. You
Or
and
the
I
woman,
alone forever. It is a
or you're
big
marrying the woman.
lie, flat from the devil. You are marrying a family and he is marrying a family. Marriage is an integration of two different families. So my question is, how are you married to a man and his family? How is your relationship? Who are your friends?
But how about this?
Uzoma, are you friendly? The Bible says he who has friends must show himself
But
friendly.
how about this? Okay, let's do this. You see, a lot of us come from privileged families where everything is fine with our families. Do you know that there are some people are actually the scapegoat in their family? I don't know if you've ever come across those people, but it now behoves on us to find out, why is this person not having a relationship with their family? Because sometimes it's not really that person's fault. There are people like that too, right? Sometimes you go and find out this person is singular in this family, is the one sane person, and the others all um, crowd together, and they believe and do things in a particular way. And this one person is sane. There are people like that. I believe I know one or two people like that. So when we're getting married, yes, it's true that we're marrying the whole family, be it the man or the woman. But sometimes if you come across that kind of person who seems to be outside their family, it's good for us to not just accept and believe what they tell us, but for us to go close enough to find out whether of a truth this family is a family that I should stay away from. And then we're not also talking about the people who maybe sometimes the man's family does not want that woman, or the woman's family does not want anything to do with the spouse. And so sometimes when they find themselves in this situation, if a woman finds herself in this situation, and it happens that that man has not actually brought them close because the family didn't ever really want to be um, close to that woman, then she can find herself in this situation, right? We all have situations like that as well. I don't know if you've heard of things like that. When she's in a situation like this, what is she going to do? That may be the type where somebody already knows this family isn't really, because sometimes people do not like the wife and they extend it to the children. I've seen that. I've seen that, so that they go home to the village, and those people, because they don't like the wife, they actually maltreat those children. They treat, and you're wondering, even if you don't like the wife, these are your brother's children. I don't know if any of you have seen that. So that happens as well. After listening to this thing, I discussed it with an older cousin of mine. And he said, Uzo, I don't think that this is going to work. Because when those kids want to forget about the fact that they're in the UK, right? That are not back home, assuming they were home, or for whatever reason, when those kids want to do something and has anything to do with home, village, or anything, somebody somewhere is going to wake up and walk into the arena and say, this is, if you take them to your home, if the woman takes them to her village, to her home, and to her family, somebody with a running mouth somewhere is going to come out and say, you're not supposed to be here. Why don't you go home? So it's important for us to think about these things while it's happening. We may think it's the smooth and easy thing to do is, let me just claim them and take them to my home because my husband's family is difficult. But those kids, you are doing what you feel is best for them. But I know that people like to belong. People really like to belong. If I were to see myself as a child, and I know I do not really belong in my mother's family and village, it's only because of the situation between my parents that I'm here. And I know that I cannot really go home to my own father's place. I don't belong there. Then all of a sudden you feel like you have an identity crisis. This can be a psychological problem. We need to think that far. These kids, they belong to the father's family and village. They must have a connection, one way or the other, that I would encourage anybody who finds themselves in this situation. Even while it's happening, while a man is separating you from his family, unless the family is so toxic, you must find a way Even if they're toxic, there must be somebody sane. Even if it's not in his direct family, there must be somebody somewhere. You must find a way for those children to not lose the claim that they have to their father's roots. Because we're Nigerians, we're Africans. We can do away with culture to a certain extent, but I don't think that we can overcome every aspect unless they call a meeting at the town hall, the village council, and say we don't want these people, keep them away. We don't want our children to become outcasts tomorrow. I don't know if anybody wants to address, if you think I've said anything wrong here, you want to put us
I want
on the right
I
path.
want I want to address it.
Okay.
Now, mm, most times, if when a lady comes to when a guy brings someone he wants to marry, or a lady brings a guy she wants to marry, if we must be honest, most times families don't warm up immediately to that person. Most
Sometimes, yeah.
times there's always sometimes some sorry
Hmm.
sometimes there's always a dissenting voice in the family that says, I don't want you to marry that person.
Hmm.
Either the guy's family is saying, we don't want that girl, or the girl's family is saying, we don't want you to marry that guy.
Hmm.
Now, if you insist and go ahead and marry that person, the onus lies on the person that knows that she was not really, really wanted to warm up to the hearts of the people she has married into. Let me land. See, eh? See, eh?
Mhm.
You don't have anything to gain in fighting. You have everything to lose in fighting. If you suddenly feel that you are the El Dorado of the man, you are the trophy, you are the everything to him, and then he will shove his family, or you can get him to, maybe this one or two members of
I
his
understand
family.
what you're
And
saying.
you look, let me allow me. I'm getting somewhere. Now,
Hmm.
on this,
My flight is going to be taking
when
off in the next couple of
no,
minutes. Can I just say
correct.
something before?
Okay,
Okay,
let's
okay,
take a
Coco,
speak.
since your
Yes,
flight is
please.
about to take off. Okay, Coco, yeah.
Yeah,
Because I'm about to leave. You
yeah.
see, I'm listening very keenly, and everything you're saying, I'm taking on board. But I'm still of the opinion that I think, Adri, Tony, you should, yes, whilst it may be the 80, I think we should take into account individual stories. You know, do you know
Mm,
that there's some men out there and women, not just men,
mm.
that simply because things are not really going their way and they know they're in the wrong, that go around spreading rumors about their wives
Exactly. I was going to say that as well.
themselves. If you
Sometimes they
if,
do
if
this,
you have
they do this
this
deliberately. Give
time,
them like this, so I can talk to this side and
yeah,
talk to this side
yeah.
and talk to, yeah.
Do you know that rumors could be spread about you that you wouldn't even recognize yourself outside what people are saying about you, and none of that is true? Maybe we should treat a topic on covert narcissism. Covert
Yes.
narcissism.
That's
Then
actually what
you
I
would
was thinking about.
understand.
Yes.
Because I've done a lot of research, I've read a lot, and I could tell you that there's so many male and female narcissists out there, covert narcissists. Okay, now if you find yourself in a situation where you're married to a narcissist, the covert ones are the ones that are also nice to everyone, and everyone's impression about them, oh, lovely guys, but they're nothing like that. And what they do is ahead of you, as in even in good times when you're yet to have your big blowout fight, they go outside and give people an impression about you. You're this, you're that, you're that. Now, what the man says about you outside is what people believe about you,
Sweetheart,
right?
please. Now that you say
Then
this,
you know what?
can I quickly throw something in? Anytime you find yourself in a relationship with someone who keeps you, who does not encourage you to be close to the people that they are close to, if they
To
don't
be wary,
encourage you to be close to the people that are close to, watch it. Watch it.
watch it. But then also, you see, it's uniquely different if you're married to this person, you're stuck, aren't you?
Yes,
Right?
yes, yes. No, I
And
say
so
watch it.
since you're
Watch it.
stuck,
Yeah,
he's the one controlling or she
yeah.
controlling the narrative
The
on the
middleman.
outside. Now,
Yeah.
you don't know why people are not coming close to you. You wouldn't know at the time that it is because he said to them, you're a horrible person, you're this, you're that.
Yes.
So I will come back. My flight is about to take off, and
Mm.
You all have a good
Where are you going to?
Have a
Where are you
blessed
going?
trip. Godspeed. Enjoy,
Angela, I'll catch you. Hopefully, I should
Send me.
catch you this weekend if I'm not
Oh,
going out on
awesome,
Saturday.
awesome.
See
We'll
you.
cruise
Have a
together. We'll
beautiful
go
Only
out
trip.
to
bye.
dinner.
Enjoy
I'll take you to
yourself.
the
Okay.
movie.
Bye.
There's
Great
a
having
film
you.
out called Saving Onome. We'll go and watch it.
What? What was that?
There's a film out, Saving Onome. I can't wait to watch it.
Okay. Does it have something to do with
No, I
this?
say I'll go with Coco to go and watch the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So, did you get that part?
Okay.
Because
Can I
sometimes when
land?
we're speaking,
Can I continue based on Coco's train of thoughts? There
where
are
were you before though?
indeed.
Where were you before? Where were you
I,
before?
I, I've forgotten where I was. Leave where I was. I'll get there somewhere. I'll get there eventually. I'm too smart not to remember. Okay. Not to blow my trumpet, but that's the truth. That's the
Jerry,
truth.
who
Not to blow my
upset you
trumpet.
today? Somebody, there is fire on the mountain. Run, run,
Raw,
run.
raw, raw.
Okay.
Okay, now
Uh-huh.
we do know that there are covert narcissists. Outside of the home, they are the life of the party. Outside of the home, everybody is in love with a man. Outside of the home, they think your husband walks on earth. But now you wait their house return. Now you know what's in there with you. Let me enter worry because I be Wafarian. Now you wait their house with the person. Now you know the crow way they scratch for your body. You see, no matter how a covert narcissist tries to fool the whole world outside, your wife, mm, your children, the people who live with you daily, they know the real you. And they're not afraid to call you out. They're not afraid to tell you the truth. They're not afraid to tell you your mouth is smelling. And that is what a covert narcissist hates. He hates the woman who stands up to him. He hates the woman who's not going to take a piece from him. He hates the woman who's going to tell him, you see this thing you are doing, it's wrong. He hates the woman who's going to tell him, you see this thing you did at your office is fraud. He hates the woman who's going to tell him, you see this money you brought home and gave to me that I should spend buying gold. I don't want it. Take your money. I don't want, because your money
All
is
right.
not clean.
Okay.
Now, because a covert narcissist knows that his wife is
Nose.
so strict, is so matter of fact, and tells him as it is, he goes outside, unbeknownst to her, and paints her black. He goes outside and sends a wrong vibe and a wrong narrative about his wife. Anuzoma, I agree too. Your husband or your fiancé who does not want you to get close to his closest friends, or who does not want you to get close to those he parleys with, that is a red flag.
Yeah.
A red flag. When you
Yeah. Because
recognize.
something is going on and they know that they don't want you to find out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Excuse me, how can someone be your buddy? He's your best friend, and he and his wife are not my party. How now? How can someone be your best friend, or someone be the person you go out when you say I'm going out with the boys? How can I not know who the boys are? How can I not pick up my phone at any time T and call one of the boys and rat out on you? How?
Mm.
How can I not
Well,
be
okay.
able?
Let's keep it down to just the family now, right?
Okay.
So yeah. So you had said something about if how did you put it? You said that the woman should warm herself up to the family. That's okay. That's good. If you can, you try, right? You're gonna try that. But think about this. What we do as human beings is, if somebody comes to me now, like if my brother's wife or my how do I put no, yeah, if my brother comes and tells me bad things about his wife, or my sister comes and tells me bad things about the husband, I need to remember that I need to see for myself as well that what my brother or my sister is telling me about their spouse isn't just things that he's unhappy about, and therefore he's now painting or she's now painting that their spouse black. I need to be very, very careful with that, because even though it's my brother or sister, and I may want to believe them, I also have to remember that we're dealing with human beings. So your brother or sister may be speaking out of anger or just wanting to, maybe they're even lying because they want to polish something up for when you will discover the truth. So we have to be careful about this. So therefore, when you're saying to warm myself up to those people, remember that sometimes you're trying to warm yourself up to people who have already seen you in this light. And no matter what you do, they're already feeling like we have to fight her because of what she's doing to our brother, kind of thing. So that when you're trying to warm yourself up to them, you may be going nowhere. So I agree with what you say. First of all, yes, let us try to warm ourselves up to them. But if I try and it doesn't work, it will not be right for you to tell me that I must continue trying, because that means you're telling me to now start giving myself mental issues. Do you understand? But not trying at all is where the problem is. I should try because maybe there's something they misunderstand. But when I
Okay.
try and it doesn't work, I'm a human being as well. I have some dignity. I'm not going to be groveling for you to be treating me the way you shouldn't treat me when I have no understanding of why you're doing what you're doing, especially when I know that my hands are clean. So let's not put that much of an expectation on people in that situation. But of course, yes, first try. Mm.
Okay. But you know, there's something about how, because you are naturally a good person,
I've
because
seen
you are,
them. Oh, I've seen those people who are very good, but the
Uzoma,
family will not accept her.
if
I don't
you,
have a personal experience. I'm speaking for other people that, yeah, okay.
Uzoma,
Yeah.
you are a nice person, you are kind, you are enduring.
Mm,
Look, no matter how the man try paint you black,
mm.
no matter how the man tries to recruit all his family members
Okay, I
to
see
play
where you're going.
against you, I'm sorry to say,
What did
oh,
you say?
if I am so, if I am just a nice, sweet, good person,
Mm.
it
Then
go
what?
hard. It go hard for him to
For
have his way with his family because
no,
they
what
will.
are you saying? What are you narrow it down? Are you saying that?
Uzoma, what I'm trying to say is that no matter how badly you paint someone, because
Yes,
the person is who the person is, which is
yes,
a lovely, sweet personality,
yes,
these people who are the family members
yes.
cannot resist that person's love.
No,
They
let's put
can.
it this way. Maybe we should put it this way. Not everybody will buy that. Somebody must see through it and know that no, this person is like this. What you're saying is you can't fool everybody, right? You
Yes,
cannot succeed in fooling everybody.
that's what I'm trying
Yeah.
to say. You can't fool everybody. There
But
will
let's
be
but let's
those.
also remember, because I think that I'm a nice, sweet person, and I know that you are nice as well. But let's also remember some people are people who, if you treat me well, I will treat you well. If you come at me like this and I don't have any reason or understanding of you being like this, I'm not going to remember to even just be nice. I'm going to give you right back. Okay? I'm not saying that that is the
So
best
you
way
see, if
to.
that is
I'm
how you
saying,
are, excuse me, if that's how you are, you make
yes.
your bed, you rely on it. You will be the one that will be in the future looking
Yes,
for
yes. So
a
no, so what we,
looking
what we will
for a
do,
relative to call upon.
yeah,
You know,
let's just
you
remember
sow,
that. It
you
doesn't mean that
sow
they deserve,
the seed,
no, it doesn't mean that they
you sowed
deserve
the
that.
seed, we reap it.
It doesn't mean that they deserve that
No,
because
no, no,
in
no,
the
no.
first place,
If you have sowed the wrong seeds, down the line, you will reap it.
Jury, just cool down a bit. Let me land with this, because if everything had been left naturally to proceed naturally, the person may not have encountered those problems. So because you have somebody who is orchestrating some evil machination, he is the person who has created this for you. So it now behoves on us to be wise, so that if I'm that kind of person who feels like if they won't treat me nice when I haven't done anything, I'm just going to, then that's where wisdom comes in, to realize that somebody is pitting these people against you, and for you to also not play into their hand. So it's just a reminder.
My advice to that woman, because I don't want to over digress from what we're
Yeah, thank
talking
you.
about. I know she needs answers, and it's not a very easy situation when somebody is in such a dynamic situation. You know, it's critical. And like I said, I'm giving you a thumbs up. I'm not here to blame you anymore for what was not done or what we should have done. But now that you are in this crisis, find a way to see how you can reestablish contact with either the mother of the man, the mother of your husband or ex-husband, whatever
They
he
might
is
be
at the
there. Can
moment.
I ask directly? So, do you think that those children can be taken to claim their mother's roots as their roots? Do you think that that's a good thing? Do you think that
Say
that
no.
can work?
Capital no.
Uh,
Okay.
See, you know,
um,
there's something in my
um,
there's something people say as in, no matter how this our in-law do also, no matter how she dey vex us, she don't born for us. So as far as she don't born for us, there's nothing she can do. We love her, we get children with her. Now she be the mama of our children. I beg, now our own.
Okay,
No
Tony,
matter what,
so
as far as
Tony,
she don't born for us,
what's your
as far
opinion on
as
that?
she don't born for us, now our person. Mhm.
What's your opinion on that, Tony?
um, my take is that she has to do the much she can. Like I said, try to get involved, try to get in touch with any member of the family. But where everything fails, the only way she can honor the family is to ensure that they have the last name. Um,
They
I
already
mean,
do. Yeah.
there have been a lot of children out there with no parental heritage, nothing, and they still find a way to trace their roots. I mean, why is that important? Why, if it's not important to do that,
Exactly.
why do they do that? Why do
Exactly.
people try to find, I want to see my root? What does that mean to you? So it all goes back to what? The order of creation, the way things are supposed to be. If you understand your roots, you know where you're going. If you don't, you lose your identity. Like if you are here in Canada or whatever else in the world, hey,
Awesome.
where are you from? Where do you come
Awesome.
from? My mother is from here. So where are you? Where, like,
Thank you
what's
for
your
bringing
original root?
that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's
You get,
awesome.
you
Because it
have
creates a
nothing.
vacuum. It creates a vacuum somewhere. I can tell you
That's
that.
right. And
Right?
yeah. And so yeah. And so we find a lot of people around. Like sometimes we get engaged with thoughts about people, even like we that have traveled far, then you ask them, hey, where are you from? They ask me, where am I from? Straight up, Nigeria. Where? I can trace back to my core kindred if I want to, even way down to my oldest grandfather. But then I ask them in return, so where are you from? Oh, my father is from, I am from this. So what about where are you actually from? I don't know. I'm Canadian, or I'm this. So you can see from the point that they already have started losing a part of who they are. They can
Yes.
only trace their identity based on how much they understand. My mother told me this, or my father, depending on who they are living with. And so, how do we stop this? We
Right.
have kids that we have to keep talking to them all the time. Even if the father has been one crazy man, you still owe your children the duty to talk to
Absolutely.
them. This is who your father is. This,
Absolutely.
not by not even castigating the guy. This is who your father is. Don't worry. The children are very intelligent creatures. They will grow up. They will figure out, Dad, who are you? Why were you not in my life? That is not the job of you, mother, to paint the dad whatever color you want to paint, or you, man, to paint
Okay, we're
the,
now moving. I think we're now
you know what
moving.
I mean? So,
Yeah.
what your job is to educate them on who they are, on where their roots are from, in case you do not know, and then teach them as much as you can. Now, if you don't have kids already and you are already involved in a relationship, figure out who your partner is, how much you can go deeper into figuring out where they are from, because you have stories to tell your offspring as they come up. And then
Okay.
as you tell them about yourself too. So once you have all this groundwork done, it becomes easier in case one of you or two of you should die all of a sudden in an accident. And then the children are there, like, Where do we go? Oh no, I remember. This is what my dad told me, or this is what my mom told me.
Okay. Yeah.
And
So
if I may
yeah.
add to that,
No. Okay.
when
Okay.
when
Go.
you are getting married, before you get married, please, I beg you, no matter how modern we have become, no matter how you meet in township, or you meet in London, or you meet in Canada, discover the village your spouse is from, down to the
Right.
streets,
Okay. You just
down
said
to
what I was about to say. You just
down
said
to
what I
the
was about to
physical
say.
town, down to the
And in
streets.
addition, right. And in addition to that, if you end up marrying somebody and this is what you see, this person is staying away from their family. Um, let's use this opportunity now to let you know that it doesn't end with just both of you. It really doesn't. If you do have children, if you're planning to have children, remember that you may not have experienced this, but people who have experienced this have an identity crisis. It's a real thing. If you haven't felt it, you won't know what it feels like.
That's
So
correct.
yes, and this goes as far as even if you have problems with your partner, where one person is now away from the children, we must do our best always to let our children have full access as much as possible to their parents, to the other parents, and to the other parents' family as much as possible. Only when we have done our best and those people have rebuffed or rejected our warm embrace, then we can now say to ourselves, I have done everything I can. There are people who actively try to separate children from parts of their family
Hmm.
or their other parents. We need to realize that we're creating issues for these
Without
children. We are
remorse.
seriously creating issues for this. We have a video where we talked about it with a doctor who came with some medical facts. So this is real. You are destroying lives because you are creating a crisis and a vacuum for your child. If you really love your child, if you really love your children, you want to desist from this. There is enough trouble already in life as it is for people who are going into life. How much more when you come and add something that could have been avoided or prevented? So another thing I was going to say, if you get married to somebody and they are keeping away from the family, please do your utmost best to make sure that your children have access one way or the other. It's a job that you have to do one way or the other. Make sure that your children have access to the other part of the family because they are going to wake up tomorrow and start feeling like something is missing somewhere. Something is missing somewhere. Let's start filling these vacuums that we have, especially the ones that we're even creating or enabling by ourselves. And with that,
Um,
yeah,
just
you were
one more
speaking?
thing. Just
Yeah, okay.
one important thing. This is on a spiritual matter. Everything that happens in the physical has a touch of spirituality. We are just manifesting the rest of it. And whatever we manifest here, it affects the other side. They work hand in hand. Now, if you, a parent, whether man or woman, try to keep, especially women in from the West, because they see this as a game and as a
Yeah,
money-making venture.
that's
If
true.
you try to take, subject, or refuse the kid, or make it hard for the parent, the father, to meet with your kid or to have a relationship, one, you are going against the law of God. Two, you are destroying that child's spirituality. In fact, you're just annihilating his existence before it starts affecting his physical existence from that identity crisis. Now, you've robbed off that part of him, which is going to affect the physical part of him. We always wonder why we are so depressed, why we are so this, and why we are so bitter. There are a lot of unanswered questions among people that are so bitter because they cannot
Oh,
fathom why they
absolutely.
are angry.
And they
But
have
it's
an inner
all
anger. Yes, they have an
it's an
inner
inner
anger.
anger. It's something that stems that they cannot
Yes.
actually complete that. And so they grew up with it. And each time they're either violent or aggressive, or it's just
Yeah.
in there. And now
Yeah.
these people grow up to be adults, and you wonder why they are behaving the way they are behaving, especially when they find a spouse or somebody to marry.
And then
That
they
unfulfilled,
take that to their spouse, and then they continue that cycle.
and it
And
continues,
then
it becomes a cycle, a bad ripple effect. And how do you
that's
deal
how,
with it?
yeah. And then
And
maybe
It, it comes,
their relationship will break down, and then it will affect the children, and then those ones now carry their own, and it just keeps growing on and on and on.
based
that's
on what
correct.
of you have said, spiritually, every child needs their father's blessing. If
No,
you,
no, no.
a
Can you? What if it depends? What if the father does not want to give that blessing?
can
So
I
be careful.
get
Remember,
somewhere? Allow me now. If you, as a mother, try and recruit your children to
mm-hmm.
hate their father, you
Wickedness,
are shooting yourself in the head, because
mm.
you see what a father says over his son and over his daughter that comes from his belly stays. God recognizes spiritual authority. God recognizes the authority a father has over his children. So it is in your best interest as a mother to
Mm.
always make sure your children honor, love,
Mm.
and respect their father, so
Mm-hmm.
that their father reciprocates by
And vice
blessing
versa.
their father. What comes out of him for his children is always blessings. God forbid you get a man to get to the point that he curses his son or curses his daughter because of you. It will be on you. It will be on you, because if a father pronounces evil over his son or his daughter, I'm sorry, it will not be well with that child. It will
Right.
take
Okay.
God the
We're speaking
Father,
to people who
God
believe in
the Son,
spiritual.
God the Holy Spirit to deliver
Yeah.
that child from what the Father
Okay.
has said.
This is for people who even believe in the spiritual. For even if you don't believe in the spiritual, the bottom line is what you're doing already. You are creating a mental crisis for that child. It starts from there, right? If you believe in the spiritual, then you know that it starts from the spiritual. The reason I had to make that statement is so that people who don't believe in spiritual, if they want to discard that, you still don't get it. You still don't escape. You don't get to escape. You are still creating a problem for your children. Okay. And with that, we'll close this now. Was there something I wanted to say? I hope I said everything that I wanted to say about this. Yeah, so just do your best for those children to have a connection with their roots at all times. Let's be more mindful and more conscious of the decisions that we're taking and the actions that we're taking and the way that we're relating with our children, because we create this ripple effect that keeps on going and then the cycle just continues. So thank you for being with us on this episode. Remember to give us your comments and your experiences in the comments. Let's further these conversations, because that's why we're here, for conscious empowerment with thinking and digging deep. Right? Bye bye. Then enjoy the rest of the weekend.